Welcome back to another episode of Chronicles of Tech. I'm your host Daniel.
And I'm Chloe. Today we're taking a trip beyond our atmosphere and diving into the fascinating world of satellites, specifically the Starlink project.
You've probably heard about it, those little blinking dots sailing across the sky like popcorn in a cosmic microwave, right? But here's a question for you.
Ooh, I love a good question. What is it?
What if I told you that these satellites could change the way we access the internet forever?
Well, that certainly sounds intriguing. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of this, let's start with a quick overview of what Starlink actually is.
Laterally, it's like Elon Musk's vision of a far-flung Wi-Fi hotspot. But in reality, it's so much more, an ambitious project by SpaceX to provide high-speed internet across the globe, especially in remote areas.
Right, and it's essential to recognize that this isn't just about binging your favorite shows while camping in the woods. It's about making technology accessible where traditional infrastructure may not reach.
Exactly. Just think about it, the majority of the world's population is online, but many people still lack reliable internet. Starlink aims to bridge that gap.
So, how does it all work? I mean, is it just a bunch of satellites flying around like space ducks?
Well, kind of. They're called satellites, but instead of orbiting in a typical circular pattern, many of them are arranged in low Earth orbit. Picture a cloud of satellites surrounding Earth that can beam internet back down to us.
So, it's like we're living in a cosmic spiderweb of tech.
Huh. You could say that. But these little satellites are communicating with ground stations, which connect to the internet. So it's not just random floating ducks, it's more precise, like a symphony of technology.
That's a beautiful image. And it all started back in 2015, during the early days of the development of Starlink. SpaceX initially launched it with, get this, 2 test satellites.
It's like they were playing a game of, let's see if this works, before committing to a whole fleet of them.
Exactly. Then in 2019, they kicked it up a notch with a launch of 60 satellites in one go.
And who said you can't multitask in space, right? SpaceX proved the critics wrong with that launch.
Oh, definitely. Then by 2020, there were thousands of satellites in orbit, and they started beta testing for customers. The name of that test? Starlink Beta, of course.
Original branding at its finest. And you know that beta testing phase was full of surprises, right?
I imagine it was. Some users reported high speeds while others were literally battling with slow connections. But that's all part of the testing phase.
Right, and since then, things have drastically evolved with the technology and the number of satellites. By the time you listen to this episode, Starlink might have thousands orbiting Earth, providing coverage to millions.
And let's not forget how they're launching these satellites. It's not as simple as firing them up there like a cannonball. Each launch is meticulously planned to optimize space.
And then there's the Falcon 9, which has become their trusty steed. It's reusable. So, unlike your average single-use water bottle, it's like a superhero in the rocket world, going out, doing its job, and coming back for more.
Talk about sustainability. But, of course, the web of satellites isn't without its challenges. There are concerns about space debris, light pollution, and how it affects astronomy.
Yup. Astronomers aren't thrilled about having their views blocked by little twinkling satellites. It's like having a bunch of chatting neighbors shining flashlights while you're trying to enjoy a cozy stargaze.
Exactly, and SpaceX has been making efforts to mitigate these issues. They've introduced dark coatings on satellites to reduce reflectivity, which is kind of like putting on sunglasses for them.
Talk about tech savvy. But all of this begs the question, do Starlink satellites have a chance to really democratize the internet globally?
That's a big question. While they could effectively connect remote areas, there are still potential challenges like affordability and government regulations in different countries.
Right. We're heading for a future where internet access might be more equitable, but we're not there yet. And then, there's that looming question.
Which question?
Will they make browsing the internet while camping a reality, Or are we still going to be stuck with buffering?
So that's what you meant. Well, if the recent launches show us anything, it's that the folks at SpaceX are indeed aiming for a future where even your campfire Wi-Fi is blazing fast.
But we'll have to wait and see how things unfold. It's an exciting journey, and Starlink is certainly making waves.
And as we look up at those blinking dots, let's keep our fingers crossed for a truly connected world.
That wraps up this episode of Chronicles of Tech. Thanks for tuning in.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay curious. After all, the future is unfolding above our heads.
Until next time.